Good morning, everybody. It is
Good morning.
Friday. We're getting ready for the weekend. And we have special guest Jeff Frazier on with us today. Jeff is our newest local hero. Good morning, Jeff. How are
Good
you?
morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Thank you
Good.
for being with us today.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So, you just recently were honored at City Council meeting for an event that happened at your place of work. Would you care to let us know what happened?
Well, I was working and one of my customers, I noticed when I came out of the kitchen was choking and his partner was trying to help him, patting him on the back over and over, trying to help him, but he couldn't breathe. So I was just kind of standing back and observing, just waiting to see what would happen because most people usually, like I said, usually will spit it out or will stop. They'll be fine. But this guy didn't. He decided to stand up out of the booth. And when he did, he got a little dizzy. He got a little lightheaded. And the next thing you know, he just passed out on the floor. So again, we were all kind of just standing there, didn't know what to do. None of us did because we don't know if security's coming. We don't know if he's gonna. We just didn't know what was happening. Something just clicked. Something just clicks in your head and say, we got to do something because there was probably three or four of us crowded around at this gentleman just looking down at him, and we didn't know. Like I said, we didn't know what to do. So something just clicked, and I got down and just started helping him. Started the Heimlich, and after maybe 2 to 3 minutes, he was fine. He spit it out, got it out, and he got up, sat back down for a minute, caught his breath, and he was really dizzy. He was really out of it. I think he was pretty close to serious stuff there.
Wow, yeah. I mean, if he passed out and everything, and then two,
Yeah,
3 minutes,
it
he's
happens
wow.
so fast. It feels like it's just so fast. Everything
Kind of
happens so quick.
surreal, huh?
Yeah, I've never really talked about it since, so I'm a little, I can't explain it with the best detail, but I'll try.
Okay. So, where do you work? Let's tell everybody where you work.
Right now, I work at the Casablanca Cafe. I work
And
swing shift at the Casablanca Cafe. Yeah, at the
but this
time, it was
incident took place at the Virgin
at
River.
the Virgin River Cafe. Yeah, yes.
And how long have you been with the Virgin River?
I worked over there for about 4 or 5 years. I worked over there for about 4 or 5 years.
And this is the first time that anything this severe has happened?
Yes, that I'm aware of. Yeah, because that happens maybe once a month where somebody's choking, but for some reason they usually just cough it right out. They cough it, but this guy had it pretty lodged in there. It wasn't. It was kind of scary because he wasn't breathing, he wasn't talking, he was really struggling. He was really struggling.
And
Most
was
people
he,
you'll see. Go ahead.
oh,
Go
no,
ahead.
go ahead.
I was gonna say just most people you see usually snap out of it. They usually, like I said, about 1 or 2 minutes they cough it up.
And you said that this was not an older gentleman, it was actually
No.
a younger gentleman.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. He was.
So
He was younger. Yeah. And he was
about
eating orange chicken. It was actually orange chicken.
really? Oh,
Yeah.
wow. So yeah, he must, wow, that's something. So do you have formal training in the Heimlich maneuver?
No. Nope. I've only just seen it, let's say, off of TV videos growing up. You see about it, hear about it, maybe read a newspaper article, but that's about it. You don't really have that kind of training unless if maybe you're in the medical field or something. So I was just nervous on what I was doing. I was just hoping I was doing it right. I just tried my best and off of what I've seen and learned, throughout life, no
Do
training.
What was everybody else that was standing around? I mean, what were they doing when you actually took action and went to work on that?
I couldn't really like see what they were doing, but everybody was kind of stunned because this guy passed out. That's when everybody was we all like froze. Most of the people, the customers, everybody was kind of focused on that guy at that point. So there was a small crowd around the guy and we were all kind of looking down. And that's when I went down and just started helping him. He was already on the floor. So I kind of just did the Heimlich down on the floor instead of picking them up. Usually you pick people up and go behind them and start. But he
Hmm.
was uh, he was pretty tall and pretty big guy, so I just tried to do it down on the ground where I could and just didn't know what to do, and it worked.
Wow. So, Mike Benham, was the
Hmm.
one who actually, so he was in the restaurant at the time that this happened?
He was right behind me eating dinner. He was also in my section. He was also right behind me eating. He was the one that witnessed and saw. And if I hadn't have done it, I think he was right behind me to do it.
Yeah,
So
I think he
he
mentioned
sensed there
something.
was something too, because he was a paramedic. He was a EMT as well.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, he used to lead.
he knew something was pretty bad too.
Well, yeah, yeah, wow, that is amazing. So, how does it feel to be pegged the local hero now? Have you had a lot of pats on
It's
the back from it?
Yeah, there's quite a bit. There's a lot of love and support on Facebook, and Mike did an awesome job and took me to City Hall and helped me, organize everything. And I'm in the fire department. I'm much appreciative. It can be a little overwhelming because you're just not used to that. That just doesn't happen all the time. So it can be a little overwhelming, but it's very
But
nice. I feel appreciated in the support.
that's good. Well, and you're known around Mesquite. I mean, you said you had been here mostly all your life,
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
and so
Yeah.
all your friends.
Yeah, I'm just meeting people through the years at working in the coffee shop because you see a lot of people that are maybe regulars or come in quite a bit.
Okay. Had this customer that you saved, had he ever been in that you know?
Not that I'm aware of. He didn't seem like somebody that I've seen because you do see quite a few people, but I didn't recognize him. No,
No.
no.
Wow.
Yeah, he seemed to be. If I had to guess, he was probably from out of town because it was a different group of guys. They were probably from out of town.
Okay. Wow. So, well, I know I won't keep you on. So I know you said that you
Yeah,
have
no, it's okay.
a
It's
daughter.
okay. It's okay.
Okay. So how old are your children?
I
Your
just have
daughter?
one. She's 8 years old. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's eight.
So,
Yeah,
oh, what grade is she in?
she's in third.
Third.
Third
Yeah.
grade, yeah.
Is she enjoying being back in school
She
now?
is. She is because they get to actually be around other kids now. And I just told her to be safe, wear your mask and wash your hands and just be as safe as possible. But yeah, I think they definitely needed to be back in school. They
Oh,
could use that teacher interaction. Yeah.
It's it's so much nicer when you're not sitting there looking at a computer trying to do all
Hmm.
your work, you know.
Hmm.
Kids are vocal and sociable creatures.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I agree. So that's wonderful. Um,
Hmm.
so besides the certificate or anything, is that all you got was the certificate at City
Yeah, and
Hall?
they gave me some nice t-shirts. I got some nice where is it, fire department t-shirts. They gave us quite a few. Nice little stack. I got one for my daughter and my girlfriend and my mom, and we got some nice shirts from them. But
Oh,
yeah,
very
and Mike
nice.
took me out to dinner after as well. We went
Did
back
he,
to the Virgin River and talked and had a nice dinner.
is Mike one of your regular customers? I mean, did
He
you
is.
know?
Well, prior to that, I just started to get to know them a little bit. Yeah, I had, seen him a few times. That I didn't quite know them, but he just happened to be there that day. It's just that exact moment, and it was like he's like, "Wow, you saved that guy's life," and it didn't really hit me. I just it happened so quick, and I did it. And when I got up, I was really nervous myself. I was shaking. I don't know. It was just so fast, and it feels like somebody's life is in your hands. It feels like you have to hurry and do this before something bad happens. You got to be quick.
So you think you ever want to switch professions and go into medical?
I don't. I think I'll leave it to the professionals. That's pretty can be pretty nerve wracking.
You don't
Yeah,
want to be a paramedic. You don't want to
yeah,
follow in Mike's footsteps.
yeah. That would be pretty tough. I think
Well,
I'll stick to serving for now.
yeah, that's good. You're probably a lot more comfortable doing that. And then,
Yeah,
the restaurants definitely need people like you in case anything bad like this
yeah.
happens again.
They are talking of maybe bringing in some training later, maybe for some of the employees. So if that ever does happen again, that other people will be trained because it does happen so fast. I can't remember the exact number, but it's only a few minutes before you lose oxygen before it starts doing damage to
Yeah,
your brain and stuff.
yeah. They
So
say you may be good up to about 4 minutes, but after
yeah,
that, it's pretty
yeah.
precarious.
It all happened so fast, but security did come pretty quick, and they were right there. So it just had to be done. I don't think it could have waited another minute.
Good. And the guy didn't go to the hospital. He just walked out afterward.
Yeah, he pretty much just caught his wind and I think he was just extremely embarrassed. He felt embarrassed because there was a big crowd there, like kind of looking at him. and his friends were kind of making fun of him a little bit, you know.
Oh.
So yeah, so I think he just wanted out of there. I think he just wanted to go.
I think I'd find new friends
I'm
if my
sure he was
friends made fun of me
appreciative.
almost dying.
Yeah,
Jeez.
yeah. I'm sure he was appreciative, but he just kind of just wanted out of that building. I think he was just embarrassed.
I can imagine that is, and pretty traumatic as well. I mean, he was probably
Yeah.
still pretty shaken up. I don't know. I've never been in a situation like that, but I can imagine many years of his life flashed before his eyes.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
Yeah. Wow. All right. Well, Jeff, I won't keep you. He has to take his daughter to school, so I promised that we would keep the interview short. I absolutely thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah.
I'm sure that the gentleman is more than grateful to you for
Yeah, I'm sure he is.
being able to walk upright today.
Mhm.
I know the community is very grateful that we have people like you in it that
Yeah,
take
it feels
action.
very nice to see all these nice, kind messages and the support. It's very nice.
Well, good. And you deserve it. You deserve it. And you
Thank
deserve
you.
the accolades and everything else. So thank you so much for
You're
coming on
welcome.
today. We
You're welcome.
appreciate it. You have a wonderful day. Are you working
Maybe
today?
I'll be back on. I am off today and tomorrow. We're gonna go to the county fair in Washington County Fair tomorrow.
You are. Oh, well,
Yeah.
that'll be a lot of
Yeah.
fun. Well, too bad you're going to miss the cornhole tournament here.
In Mesquite.
Yep. They've got the very first cornhole tournament happening tomorrow morning. So
Is it
that's
gonna be recorded or something? Maybe I'll watch it after.
I don't think it's going to be recorded. It's kind of like part of the Mesquite Senior Games.
Oh, okay.
But it's a family event. It's open to everybody, and they've got like individual tournaments. Do you know about cornhole?
I don't.
Oh,
I'm
it's
sorry. I don't.
it's almost like horseshoes. You have to like
Oh,
throw a
okay.
bean bag
Okay.
into a
Yeah.
spot.
Yeah.
So
Sounds pretty
yeah,
fun.
yeah, it should be a lot of
And
fun
it's
for.
nice outside. It's good time of the year for some outdoor activities. It's getting nicer. It's not really hot yet, but it's getting there. It's gonna be heat's coming.
Oh, I'm telling you, listen, we've been doing, I'm part of Raise Mesquite, one of the
Yeah.
nonprofits here, and we've been doing the concession stands at Little League.
Hmm.
And I can't believe how fast the popsicles sell out. I mean, kids come up for Otter Pops 4 at a time. They're so
Pretty
thirsty,
fast.
but
Yeah.
it was extremely good to see a park full of people. So,
Yeah,
and
that's good. Yeah, it's turning around. The casinos are supposed to be going back to 100%, I think, next month. They're finally
oh,
starting to release the restrictions a little. The
that
mask, I think, are going to stay, but they're going to finally open up the restaurants a little more so we can bring in more people because a lot of the tables are closed off still. Every other
yeah.
table closed off, but that's good. We're going in the right direction.
So that has it been like really, really challenging for you to maintain this year?
Not really. It's just been different. It's just been an experience. It's definitely been a lot different, with COVID. A
Yeah.
lot.
Um,
Being in the
well,
restaurant industry, you got to be extra safe, extra clean. You're dealing with a lot of people daily. Swing shift can have over 1,000 people on its own, within
mm,
8 hours. So you got
oh
to be
yeah,
safe. Yeah.
I remember those days.
Hmm.
Like I said, used to be a supervisor there, so yeah, I
Yeah,
remember.
you remember it gets pretty busy over there.
It sure does. Even with COVID, you would still see those
You would
numbers.
still see those numbers.
Wow. Well,
Still busy. When we first opened, it was very slow, but over time it gained momentum, and then it's like nothing skipped a beat. It was pretty busy.
good. Well, my daughter works there too. She tells me over at the casa how busy it is some nights.
Yeah, it is. It is definitely busy.
Oh, well, good. I'm glad that you guys are still maintaining and that you're able to make a
Mhm.
living, even with all of the
Yeah,
restrictions and everything. That's
yeah.
good. So, all right. Thank you, Jeff. You have a
You're
wonderful
welcome.
day,
Maybe
and
I'll be back on again one of these days, and sounds good.
definitely have you back
Yeah,
on one of these days after you get all of this processed and everything.
yeah,
Get back to normal. All right. You have a wonderful afternoon
yeah.
and
You too.
rest of your morning.
I appreciate it. Thanks for bringing me on, and thank everybody. Thank you, Mike, and the fire department. I appreciate everybody. Thank you guys so much.
And
Thanks for the support.
they certainly appreciate you. I can tell by all the comments too.
Yeah.
All right. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.
You're welcome. Bye. Well, that was Jeff Frazier. And yeah, he's got to take his daughter to school. So I promised him we'd keep it short. But I did want him to have the chance, the opportunity to tell everybody thank you. And we talked a little bit before the show. And he said he was really overwhelmed by all of the gratitude and the comments and the good things that people are saying about him and everything. And, that's one of the things that I really love about the community and Mesquite in general is that when somebody like Jeff steps up to the plate, people just don't let that pass by. They let him know how important that is, how grateful they are, how wonderful it is to have people who take action. And wow, the fact that he has not had any formal training, that without knowing exactly what he was doing, he still chose to take action, and that action resulted in saving somebody's life. And how amazing that must feel to be him right now. But how amazing that we have people that don't hesitate to at least try, even when they don't know, and put themselves out there like that. Many people standing around and whatnot. Well, and I'm sure if Jeff hadn't taken action right away, I'm sure Mike Benham would have, because Mike's like that, and he used to run our CERT team and everything. But thank you, Mike. Thank you for bringing him to everybody's attention and letting people know that we have heroes like Jeff in this town. It's a wonderful thing. So very proud of you. Very proud. So what do we have going on today? We've got the Mosquitoes at 1 and 7 o'clock tonight, guys. I don't know if there are tickets available anymore. Like I said, they were selling out fast. But if you have the opportunity, there may be a chance that somebody had canceled or for some reason or another couldn't make the performance they had already bought tickets for. There may be one or two available. But if not for today, there are tickets available, or there may be tickets available for tomorrow. Again, 1 and 7 o'clock tomorrow, they're playing as well, or performing. And that is at the Mesquite Community Theater, right over there on Yucca Street. It is the old the college campus now, but used to be the old elementary school campus. But the theater is right on Yucca Street. You see the marquee out there. You can't miss it. And if you're going anywhere around the rec center, Ball Diamonds, toward Yucca Street or whatever, the campus is right there and the theater is right out front. And I say that because I know most of you know there's theater in this town. But after 12 years of being part of the theater, I still talk about it and hear from people, we have a theater here in town. They have no clue. So I want to tell everybody, yes, we have a theater here in town. It is a wonderful little theater. It is an awesome little theater. And it is right on Yucca Street. And Yucca Street is the street that City Hall is on. So City Hall is on the corner. Well, one side of City Hall is on the corner of Yucca and Mesquite Boulevard. And that would be South Yucca. We're on North Yucca. The theater is on North Yucca, so just on the other side of Mesquite Boulevard. Again, it's a great little theater, but it's only 199 seats, and since they're only at 50% capacity, they only have 100 seats available per show. So I hope you got a chance to get your tickets, because I'm sure that those dancers are itching to get back on stage. I know they're great performers. They love performing, and they have been held up from performing for a while, although they did get a little stint in the summertime on stage, or in the fall, this past fall. They got out in the rec center field and got to perform, but That's probably not the best performance venue for them because with tap shoes and whatnot, it might be a little difficult for them to dance on a metal stage. Whereas the wooden floor in the theater is probably much more conducive to their shoes and their dancing and movement and whatnot. I know the metal stage is ridged, and those ladies probably had to be pretty careful doing that. I don't know for sure, but I can imagine that they did. I'm not a dancer, so they're a lot more graceful than I am. I just make funny characters happen on stage. That's all. And it doesn't matter if I'm clumsy. Half of my characters are supposed to be anyway. So, but again, once that theater opens, they do some wonderful performances. And I will talk again about the Virgin Valley Theater Group. They usually do 3 performances a year. So they'll do a fall performance. They'll do a performance somewhere around, wintertime. That's kind of precarious on the schedule, depending on the theater. And then they do one in the spring just before everybody leaves town. We have a lot of snowbirds, so they want to get as big an audience as possible. So they cram everything into those couple of months, really from October through maybe the end of April or the beginning of May. It is the theater season, and it's really the entire season for the Mesquite Community Theater. So you've got a lot of people wanting to get in during that very short period of time. So the theater schedules are sometimes really difficult to work on, but they do a really good job, and they seem to get all of the performers in there. Plus they have added fundraisers that they do, which is usually are some type of variety shows. They do the Mesquite Kids on Stage, or Missoula, where we have a lot of our elementary kids that get out there and they get their first taste of theater. And wow, these kids are amazing. So I really hope that they bring Missoula back sometime and let the kids get that shot at being on stage. But I've told you before, Missoula is amazing. They bring in 2 directors, 2 adult professional directors. One of them usually takes on the directing, the stage management end of things, while the other takes on the main character part and kind of leads the kids through their parts in the play. But these kids, from beginning to end, learn songs, dances, blocking, lines, the entire thing in 1 week. And then they go out and they perform. And I have said it before, and I'll say it again. My husband has been to so many of my performances and still prefers the kids. So and believe me, that's terrible for me to have to admit that. It hurts. But he really does enjoy watching those kids. They do a fabulous job, and they love it so much. They just are so excited to be up there. So eager audiences are wonderful to watch. And then Bunkerville does it as well. Bunkerville, J.L. Bowler Elementary. And I hope they do it again this year. But they started a couple years ago doing the Disney musicals in school. And that was run by the Smith Center. Susan Schultz and I were the teaching directors for the first year of the program. Susan Schultz is an ex-Mesquite Toe, as a matter of fact. She was our choreographer, and I was the director for the first year that the kids got together and they learned how to put on a musical, a full-blown musical production. And they do the Disney Junior musicals. The first year we did it, we did the Jungle Book, and then they did the Lion King. I believe they did Aladdin, but the program, again, it's sponsored by the Smith Center for Performing Arts, and the schools were able to, it's called a Disney Schools Musical in Schools program. The schools were able to sign up for it, and these were rural schools, any urban school in the Las Vegas area was available to do it. But for the first year, they get two teaching directors who kind of go through the stage managing, the audition process, the rehearsal process, the blocking and choreography. And we helped develop those skills into the elementary school teachers, which in mine and Susan's case, we had a teacher there, Miss Erica. I don't remember her last name, but oh, she was fabulous. All of the teachers that we worked with at J.L. Buller Elementary were completely over the top, wonderful to work with. I mean, there was very little instruction that they had to get. Once you kind of went through the steps with them, they picked it up and ran with it. They have created, I mean, in their art projects, their art class and stuff have created some of the most amazing sets for elementary schoolers. And, you know, of course, their art teacher worked with them on that, but they did a phenomenal job. And those teachers, again, with very little direction, took and ran with it. And then Mr. Jenkins, I'm sorry, Mr. Jenkins, Christopher Jenkins, who is the principal there, you can't beat him. You cannot beat him. Those kids are so lucky to have him as a principal, because not only was he really enthusiastic about the musicals coming into school, he was every bit hands-on involved in those productions. When the lighting wasn't right, he went out and got new lights. He wanted those kids to be stars, and he made every effort to see to it that they were. When they needed something, he did not hesitate to accommodate them with whatever they needed to make their production the best possible. And believe me, it was. It was great. So if you ever do see the opportunity, and we will announce it when it happens, but if you ever see the opportunity to see J.L. Buller's Disney Musicals in School program, go. They do a wonderful job, and they are all very on board with the production. So it's rather amazing. I'm hoping they do, because the whole intent about behind the Disney Musical School, or the Disney Musical in School program, was that the kids would learn how to develop sustainable theater. So they had, it was initially a 3-year program. They had the teaching instructors the first year. The second 2 years, they went more on their own. They did not have the instructors with them. They were the directors and the choreographers themselves, but they were able to get like the scripts and the musical royalties and whatnot from the program for the second and third year. And hopefully that was enabling them to not only make enough money on their productions to sustain further productions, but in the first 3 years that they didn't have to pay for the program, or they had to pay minimal costs for the program in the last couple of years, they were able to, through ticket sales and everything, hopefully build up enough of savings that on the 4th year they were able to finance the entire production on their own and continue doing that year after year. And I've no doubt that that was their desire. Again, with COVID, things got really out of whack, but now that things are getting back into more normal routines, that hopefully they'll be picking that up again, because theater is just such a wonderful thing for kids to get involved in. And not only does it work with your imagination, it teaches you how to speak publicly. It makes you comfortable on stage. It teaches you how to work as a team. It teaches you how to be on cue, how to listen for clues where how to really listen very well, because you don't just walk up on stage and hear a cue and say your lines. You really have to listen to what the other actors are saying so that you as a person or as a character can react to what those other characters are saying, because you don't want to just stand there until it's your time to speak. So it really, theater builds so many skills that are lifelong skills that carry far outside of theater. And I won't trip over myself trying to list them all, but believe me, there is a long list of benefits that theater can do for kids. Anyway, so now that I've gotten off track, but talking about the theater, excuse me, I'm very excited about our theater. I really love our theater. And I love acting. So that brings me into another thing again. We're doing a murder mystery dinner. It's called Bats. It's a spoof on the show Cats. It involves vampires and ghouls in New Orleans cemetery, and all kinds of fun characters like Whoopi Goldberg and Jamie Lee Cutlass and Bella Glucosi. Audience participation. It involves that. We've got 20 speaking parts. It is fun. It's entertaining. We've got prizes for the best actor and actress at the end of the evening. Those will, of course, go to an audience member, and the audience gets to vote on you. So if you like to ham it up, or you just want to get wild and crazy one night, this is the place to do it. It is the Ghoulical Ball is the theme. So if you want to dress in masquerade and costume, in formal attire, and be part of the show, it's perfectly okay to do that. It's perfectly okay not to do that as well. We just want people to see the show and have a good time. And the tickets are $25. The $25 includes not only the show, which is 4 15-minute acts, well, about 16 minutes, technically 16 and a half minutes, because I've timed them. But you have 4 acts, and then in between the acts of the show, you have a 3-course dinner that's served. Hopefully we'll have some entertainment. I'm still trying to get a hold of a musician to do some, quiet dinner music while you're eating, and then some music before we start and maybe after we finish, so that since it is a ball, we can do some dancing and whatnot afterward. But the show itself is fun, exciting. It's full of laughs. It's written by Nita Hardy, the queen of killer comedy. She is a veteran actress and writer for Agatha Christie's, which is one of the biggest and most well-known murder mystery dinner theaters in Atlanta, Georgia. Nita and I have worked together for over 10 years. When I do murder mystery dinners, I use Nita's scripts because they're so well done and they're so well organized. And they're funny. But Nita and I have kind of talked about the characters here lately. And like I said, I did the show about 10 years ago, and we were very different. I had a different actor with me. And we worked well together, but we had very different characters. So Nita and I were talking about a little bit of change in characters for this show. And she kind of came up with something that I don't know. Jeff Dorston came up with it, and I kind of shut him down on it. I said, nah, I don't think so. And then Nita had the same idea. So I think we're doing British accents. I'm not sure. We're certainly going to try. I think Dahlia is more the vampire-ish, but they seem to do the British, so we're going to work on that. We'll see how it works. But again, it's fun, and tickets are $25. It's a fundraiser for Raise Mesquite, and our group does a bunch of wonderful things. Like right now, we're running the concession stand for Little League. That is a fundraising venture for us. So, I mean, it's not like we're going out of, well, we are going out of our way to do it, but it benefits us as well as it benefits the community. And I'll tell you, they've been kind of loving the concession stand, and we've been loving the kids who've been playing ball. They're such adorable kids. And I got a shout out again to Damien Balthazar. What a wonderful, sweet, polite young man. He is such a joy. And all the women who work at the concession stand with us, just like, oh, when he comes up, because he is very proper. And, well, how are you ladies today? I hope you're having the most wonderful afternoon. And he's like the epitome of what you want every young gentleman to be like. He is. And so Damien Balthazar and his parents, you're raising a great kid. Young man, you keep doing what you're doing because you're a pretty awesome young guy. And everybody loves you. So there is that. So anyhow, getting back to the fundraiser, we, raised as things like when people are out of work, we do help with utility bills, rent payments, and when we have the funds available, Carly has hooked people up with reclining chairs when they were going through some kind of treatment that they needed, more comfort, more relaxation. She's gathered medical equipment for people who have needed it. She's organized mask making right at the beginning of Corona. I can't tell you how many thousands of masks Carly organized to have women buy material, hand out to women. Women were making the masks, and then we were giving them to the Salvation Army to hand out to people for free. And at the food drives, Carly's done many food drives. It's just anything that she sees online that people happen to need, want, not be able to get for themselves. Carly's always there for them. So when I say Raise Mesquite does good things for people, I say Carly is Raise Mesquite. But in supporting her endeavors, we all do what we do best. My thing is fundraising. So, I do the murder mystery dinners. I'm trying to help raise some money for her to do her thing that way. So that's kind of how that works. Not that I'm not with Carly on some of the things she does, that Raise does, but she does a lot of her stuff from home and over the computer. And that's a good thing. That's a very good thing. I can't tell you how many people she's helped in this community. And I want her to be able to keep doing what she does. And most of it may be on an individual basis. But I will tell you, if you're ever one of those individuals that needs her, you are going to be very grateful that she's around, because she's tireless. She's motivated, and she has an absolute heart of gold. This is not somebody who does this because she has to. She does it because she genuinely cares and wants to help people. So I will do whatever I can to help support her in what she does. And unfortunately, I'm so sorry, Johnny Carson, our vice president, is laid up right now. Guy got into a motorcycle. Somebody cut him off while he was riding his motorcycle, and he really messed up his leg. And then his wife had knee surgery, so we've got two people walking around the house that probably can't get around. Neither one of them can help each other very well because they can't get around very well. So thank goodness they have good neighbors that are helping them. But let's say some prayers, please, for Tiana and Johnny Carson, because they're both laid up, and I know that they would be out here helping us do what we're doing if they can get around. Unfortunately, they can't, but we send much love out to you. Many prayers to you, John and Tiana. Again, tomorrow, let's go tomorrow, the Cornhole Fest, first ever, and should be a fun time. I know Beth Kaplinger is also part of our Raise group. She has been, and she's like volunteering for Little League and Raise and Mesquite Senior Games. So busy, busy lady, but you probably already know her from the rec center and know that about her. Beth is into everything as well. And she's a very good organizer. So she has been helping to organize this thing with the Cornhole Fest. And only because she's helping. Now, Amy McGee Bradshaw is the director and she's the main organizer. And I haven't talked much to Amy, but I have worked with Beth a lot, with the Little League and stuff and the concession stand. So I've been hearing a lot of the plans. And I know Beth talks about it. She's so excited. She is so excited about this. Cornhole is fun. It's really picking up. It's catching on. I mean, my son's wedding 2 years ago, they did cornhole at the wedding reception because that's what everybody wanted to do. And it was the biggest hit of the reception, besides the bar, of course. But yeah, everybody was having a good time, and hopefully they'll have a great big crowd out there tomorrow, because not only are the senior games people competing for, the 50 and over group, but we've got all kinds of competitions going on for the younger groups, and they're all by age range. So nobody is really outside their skill level in competition. And it's all fun anyway, and the whole point of it is to get out, be sociable, have some activity, and have a really good time. They've got food out there, they're happening, they've got different games and activities and other things. So go out and check it out. It happens at 8:30. Registration starts, and 9 o'clock the event starts. So if you're going to register to compete, please be there at 8:30 in the morning, so that at 9 o'clock they can just go on and get on with having some fun. And I'm going to be out there tomorrow morning because I really actually want to see that, but I won't be out for very long because I have a show I'm doing with somebody else tomorrow at 11 o'clock. So, and I'm really excited because Tibisay is from the Caribbean, so I'm going on her channels. And she's a very interesting person. She's a tutor. My friend Tibisay, she's Dutch, Caribbean, and she speaks 3 languages, and she tutors in those languages. So she's a pretty fascinating person to talk to. And so I love my 11 o'clock meetings with her on Saturdays, because we get to talk about a whole bunch of different activities. And that'll be live on my channel. Well, it will be on my channel eventually if you ever want to see those interviews. I have a YouTube channel, Terry Narins, on YouTube. You can also look up Mesquite Today. It'll come up on YouTube. I will ask that I have a PayPal account attached to this. I also have my HempWorks, which I will put up the banner right now for you. So that if you do use CBD oil, and it's something that you find beneficial to your health, a lot of people do, and you order it already, give it a try at HempWorks. That does help support our channel. It helps support me in doing the work I do for our channel, and doing the community calendar. And trust me, it may look like, everything's on there and it's so easy to do, but there is a lot of work involved in putting the calendar together, because I have to visit 1 million websites to do it and look for all this information. And sometimes it's not always in the same place. That's why I'm putting it all in one place for all of you, because I did it for so many years for the newspaper that it was just, it was good to have it there. And in this last year, not that there's been a whole lot going on, but I've really missed not keeping up myself. That helped me know what was going on, and stories that, you know, I might be interested in writing about, or events that I might be interested in covering, things like that. The calendar really helped me get ahead of that. And without it, it's been a bad year. Not really a bad year, but I've missed it. I've missed doing it. I've missed knowing that, you know, seeing all the activity and whatnot. And I'm really glad to be bringing that back to you. So if you, like I said, if you do CBD products, HempWorks is right here in Las Vegas. Shipping is very quick. I usually get my orders within 2 days, but you can order direct from the company and they'll ship it to you. Again, you'll get it in 2 days too. I personally love the CBD face masks. And Monday, I don't know, Monday I have a couple of guests coming on the show. But one day next week, I do have my masks. One day next week, I'm going to have the guts to put one on the show here so that you can actually see what the CBD mask is like and how good it works. Because I'll tell you, I really suffer from dry skin, especially around right where my glasses sit on my face. And the CBD masks, I have tried moisturizers of all kinds, hospital grade on down, to, you know, really kind of expensive commercial grade stuff. And it just put it in, it soaks in, and just as soon as it dries up and you don't feel the moisturizer anymore, the flakes start coming back and I start to peel again. So I did that CBD mask 2 weeks ago, and it's only been about 3 days now, and it's just starting, the flakes are just starting to come back. But the CBD mask, I did notice that it's got the botanicals in it. The botanicals they draw out. So I broke out in 2 blemishes, but they didn't stay. They were gone the next day. But that was immediately following the mask. But you can actually feel it working on your skin. It was very refreshing. Kind of like when if you've ever put an eczema on your skin, you feel that cool rush. Well, the entire time I was wearing it was like 20 to 30 minutes that you wear the mask. The entire time I had it on, I kept getting like bursts of that cool rush. It was kind of cool. But the mask worked. So I was waiting to get my, I ordered some more. I was waiting to get that shipment in. I did get it in a couple of days ago, but have not had the opportunity yet to do that on the show. So I will next week. You'll get to see the masks, but I can't talk enough about HempWorks and what CBD does. I give my dogs the CBD oil for dogs. It's bacon flavored. And I just take it. They get a full dropper. I have one dog who's extremely anxious. And he does not like being not around me all the time. So he's got a little bit of separation anxiety, and he just loves to do. All I have to do is pull out the bottle and he sees the CBD oil and he's like right there. And I just put the dropper, just a full dropper, right on the floor, and he licks it up off the floor. He does not leave any residue or anything behind. And pretty much all my dogs do that. I give one of my older dog, I do give that to him for his joint pain. And, he's 14. He's definitely got a few issues there. So he gets the CBD and it helps him get around. It helps him get up and down off of the cement in the backyard a lot easier. And I noticed a difference, and I'm very grateful for that product because of that. They also have dog treats. I have not tried the dog treats because they love the oil. They love the bacon flavored oil. So what can I say? I stick with what works, But HempWorks does, where most of CBD products that you get off of the shelves in like smoke shops or any place else, it is not a regulated industry. So if somebody puts in a 250 milliliter bottle, or probably be, 50 milliliter bottle of CBD, you could, and I'm saying that because they come in different sizes, and I'm just using round numbers for instance. But say you have 50 milliliters of CBD and it says that CBD oil, I'll tell you right now, it's mostly a carrier oil, and you might have 1 or 2% CBD in that entire 50 milliliters. It is mostly a carrier oil, and they use this carrier oils. They use any kind of like food grade purified oil. A lot of them may use like a purified coconut oil. Some of them use hemp seed oil, which CBD is actually derived from the hemp seed, but they use hemp seed oil also as a carrier oil. And hemp seed oil is very beneficial for you as well. It's got a lot of protein in it. It's got a lot of good properties, and it's very assimilatable. Assimilatable. I guess that's how you say that. It assimilates well into your body. But with the HempWorks anyway, with the HempWorks, it is a regulated industry. They can track their product from the farm to the order. Everything is labeled. It's got an order batch number on it. It's got how much CBD is in the entire bottle. The CBD for dogs, the bacon flavor, is a 200. It's got 25 or 250 milliliters in the bottle. So, you break that down to how many servings are in the bottle. There's like 30 servings. So that's 250 milliliters or milligrams, 250 milligrams divided by 30. So you're getting just under about 8 milligrams, 8 point something milligrams of CBD per serving. So, and they tell you how much. You can buy the HempWorks CBD oil, 500 milligrams, 1,000 milligrams, 1,500 milligrams. So you can determine the strength of the CBD that you want. Now they have full spectrum and broad spectrum, two different things. The broad spectrum does not contain THC. I believe the full spectrum does contain a little bit of THC, but THC, it is a psychoactive drug, but we have cannabinoid receptors all over our body, that respond. A lot of them respond to the CBD. A lot of them respond to the THC. And all of that information is on our HempWorks website. You can read about it. They really have a lot of extensive and really good, useful, beneficial information about their products. HempWorks also does Mantra, the essential oils. They do daily sprays. Daily vitamin sprays. I personally use their Boost spray. I used to be a huge fan of 5 Hour Energies because I am a traveler. I like to take off for the weekend and go to the beach sometimes, and I'll do that in the middle of the night. So I hit the beach by the morning. And in doing that, sometimes you need a little boost of energy. So I used to always hit up the 5 Hour Energies. But that has aspartame in it and a lot of artificial this, artificial that, and it's got the niacin. 5 Hour Energy and most of the energy drinks are pretty high in niacin, and that the niacin is what causes that heart palpitations and the racing that you feel, and sometimes the jitteriness. Well, the My Daily Sprays, the HempWorks My Daily Sprays, their Boost Energy Spray is simply B12 vitamins, B6 complex vitamins. It doesn't contain the niacin. There are no artificial sweeteners. So you're getting a natural product, a good healthy energy boost, your vitamins, all at the same time without that jittery or palpitative rush, those heart racing feelings, or the flush. You get that niacin flush. Some people say that when they take the 5-hour energies, all of a sudden, they can feel like their blood pressure going up. It feels like they get heat, starting at their shoulders, and it rises all the way up to the top of their head. They can actually feel it warm up, and that's called the niacin flush, so to speak. A lot of people don't like that, and if you need that energy boost and you don't like that, and you don't want all the sugar associated with drinking energy drinks like Monster and I don't know, Red Bull, all that stuff, this is a great option. Low in sugar, all natural, pure vitamins. So mydailysprays.com, the www.hempworks.com. Go to my website, put in an order, give it a try. Everything you do helps support the work that I do. So it's an hour's up already. So I will remind you again, let's get out there and support the Mesquite Toes this weekend. Today and tomorrow, both 1 and 7 tickets for their shows are $12. Tickets, if there are any available, will be available 1 hour before show times. They'll open up the box office. The address is 150 North Yucca Street. And again, the performances are at 1 and 7 p.m. today and tomorrow. And then the Cornhole Fest. Tomorrow, 8:30 is the registration. Sign up. And 9 o'clock, all the fun begins. So I hope to see you out there tomorrow. And I hope the Toes get to see you at their show. Other than that, I wish you all a wonderful day. Many blessings, peace, happiness, love, and sunshine always. Take care and have a great weekend.